Hello, hello friends. Today we will study our next chapter, second chapter, that is microorganism. In this chapter we will discuss about type of microorganism, useful microorganism, harmful microorganism and food preservation. So, let us start with the video. We observe a variety of plants and animal around us. However, some living organisms are not visible to the unaided eye. So, what are microorganisms? You can see a large number of living organisms around you. However, do you know that there is large number of living organisms around you inside your body that you cannot see with the naked eye? So yes, there are a number of living organism are there that we cannot see with the naked eye. How can we prove this? Just go through an experiment. What this experiment says, when you will see a pond, you can see just water, nothing is there inside it. But when you see that's a drop of water taken from the pond under a microscope, you can see there are a number of microorganisms are there, moving organism are there in that a particular drop of water. After that you will come to know that there are number of microorganisms are there that are present in the water, which is not visible to the naked eye. So in the same manner, in this when we do it with the soil, we can observe the same. So this activity shows that tiny organisms live in the water, soil, and even inside your body. These are so small they cannot be seen with the naked eye. They are called microorganism or microbes. So we can give the proper definition of this: organism that are so small they cannot be only seen through a can be seen only through a microscope, or called microorganism or microbes. And the study of microorganism is called microbiology. We can These organisms can have a different type of impact on our life. They can give us diseases also, they can cure diseases also. They are some are very helpful and some are very harmful. So where are microbes found? Where can we found the microbes? Microbes can be found in almost every kind of environment. You can find it in very hot places like in deserts, and in very cool places like in polar regions, even in the volcanoes, even in the cracks in the sea floor. They can exist anywhere in the whole world. Why? Because they have a different property to survive in anywhere they want. They can make a cyst around them, a hard material, hard outer covering that pro- protect them from the different type of temperatures, as well as different type of climatic conditions like dryness and humidity and temperature. So they have an unpredictable power to save themselves. Next is type of microorganisms. There are basically five types of microorganisms that are present in our environment. First is bacteria, second is algae, protozoa, and then fungi and viruses. So first we will start from the bacteria. Bacteria are the simple unicellular living organisms. Unicellular means they have only a single cell. They found almost everywhere in air, water, soil, and bodies of other organisms, including human beings. They can survive anywhere. As I already told you, bacteria can, even every microorganism can survive anywhere they want. They grow and multiply very fast. One bacterium divides to form two bacteria in 10 to 30 minutes. Means in 10 to 30 minutes they can double their population. Nearly 250 crore bacteria are present in 1 gram of garden soil. So there are number of micro bacteria are present all around us. Each bacterial cell can exist singly, but sometimes they can cling together to form chains or groups. They can be found singular also and in group also. Bacteria are found in three different shapes. There are three different shapes are there: rod shaped, spherical shape, and spiral. So rod shaped bacteria like this one, second B part is known as bacilli, and spherical shape is known as Koki. As you can see, it seems like a ball, A part, and in C part, that is it likes a spiral, so it is known as the spirala. In the next part is algae. Algae is the very easily seen among the microorganisms. Why it can be easily seen? Because we can see this microorganism, not particularly the particular a single microorganism, but there are the thousands and crores of microorganisms are there. Then we can see, you can see a green jelly like substance in water, that is known as the algae. They have cell walls and chlorophyll within the cells. Algae can be unicellular or multicellular. It can come in the single cell or multicellular also. They can make their own food by photosynthesis. They have no true root, stems, or leaf. They don't have any root, stem, or leaves like the plants, but they do have a chlorophyll, means they show green color and process their food with the help of photosynthesis. Almost all algae live in water, in ponds, lake, and sea water. Some algae are found in snow and some in hot springs. So they can be found in anywhere in where water is present, in ponds and lake and sea water. So some are found in snow and hot springs also. They also grow in moist soils, barks of trees, and rock surface, on trees also, on moist soil, like when where humidity is more, they can form there also. And the green growth are often seen in water and on the surface of wet rocks as algae. When you can see the wet rocks, the most probably the rock where water is very easily available, and you found some green color material over there, that is known as the algae. So you can see the picture of example of algae over here. That is first is Spirogyra A part, and C is Fotis and Laminara. These are the three examples of the algae. Next is protozoa. You can see some protozoa examples over there, that is amoeba, paramecium, trypanosoma, and next is protozoa. Protozoa is unicellular organism that have animal-like characteristics. They can move from place to place. They capture and eat food. So protozoa is unicellular. It have only single cell and have animal like property, like algae have plant like property. In the same manner, protozoa have animal like properties, characteristics. So they can move from one place to another place in the search of food. They capture and eat food. Some protozoa live in fresh and salt water. So it protozoa can be in fresh water also, and in the sea water, in the ocean or sea also, salt water. Other lives in soil. It can live in soil also. Some are parasites that live on the other bodies of other organism, including human being. Like parasites are those who can survive on the other living human beings or dead bodies of the human beings or other any living organism. So examples I had already given to you. Next is fungi. Fungi is what? Is a plant like organism that do not contain chlorophyll. It look like plant but don't have any chlorophyll present in it. Like algae don't look like a plant but have the chlorophyll in it and do produce their food with the process of photosynthesis. They may be unicellular and multicellular. Yeast are unicellular. So it can be unicellular also, it can be multicellular also. Some of them is unicellular, like yeast is example of fungi, it is unicellular, whereas bread mold is an example of fungi, but it is multicellular. Mushrooms are large multicellular fungi. We can easily see mushrooms. It is a microorganism, but still we can eat vegetable of mushroom also, it still then it comes in the category of microorganisms. They are either parasites or spirophytes. So spirophytes are the organisms that feed on the waste and dead plants and animals. So it can use waste of dead plants and animals as their food. Though fungi are present everywhere from desert to cold regions, they are grow best in dark, warm and moist places. They can be found from desert to polar regions wherever you go, but they grow best in dark, warm and moist places. Here you can see the examples of fungi, that is penicillium, yeast, mushroom and bread mold. Next is virus. Virus is a very smallest microorganism that can't be even see with the naked eye. Even under the microscope it is not properly visible. You have to use the electron microscope if you want to see the viruses. So virus is very dangerous also because it causes very much trouble for human beings. It causes a number of diseases in human beings, like in these days COVID-19, like coronavirus is the one of the biggest example of the viruses. So they do not have cellular structure like other microorganism. They are so small that they cannot be seen by a light microscope. So you have to observe viruses, scientists use an electronic microscope which magnifies object more than 2 lakh times. Virus cannot be reproduced by themselves, so to respond to changes or use energy or grow, this seems to indicate that viruses are not living organism. Virus is not living organism because it can only come into the form when it got a living cell. As they got human body, they just started multiplying by using their cells. Like in body, if they came, they start using our cells and multiply themselves, and our body cells, they just after producing after increasing their population, our cells used to die. So it is very dangerous virus. It uses the energy of the host cell for the purpose. After the formation of thousands of viruses, the host cell often dies. So here is an example of viruses, that is tobacco mosaic virus, adenovirus, influenza virus and bacteriophage. It bursts and new viruses spread and invade the other cells. A large number of host cells die. The person falls ill. If we got the very less number of cells of our in our body, so we will fall ill very easily. So be very cured. Be very use proper precautions to avoid COVID-19, because if it spreads in your body, then a person may fall ill. Then it is very difficult to recover from this virus. Since reproduction is very important characteristics of life, scientists regards viruses as a link between living and non-living things. They have been placed on the dividing line between the living things and non-living things. So neither it comes in the category of non-living things, neither it comes in the category of living things. It is the lies between the living and the non-living thing. So I'm requesting you, be safe, be at home and be very careful from this virus. In the next video we will discuss about the useful microorganism and harmful microorganisms. So till then, take care. Thanks for watching.